Man.
A true classic.
Very,
not to blow my own horn, but I don't get enough credit for my writing skills, bro.
Before
I really
the break,
don't.
before the break, before the break.
Yes.
I mean, before the break, though, I played Wash Side me GTV.
Yes.
We have styles, Manco Fresh
CID.
I was here the Munabo front page.
PMP. Rapsimo Insurance. SIC. Skills yellow woman Mantono GNTC. Biakama video cassette CD. We are branch here. Me supposed to KKD.
Me too coin on the car for STC.
Yo, that was way ahead. I mean, if you didn't know me, if you just came and you listened to that song, it would be really hard for you to understand how long ago that song was written.
Because it's still pretty relevant. Everything that you said in there, it's still
the style on there was all abbreviations. SIC, CID, STC, KKD, GNTC, all it's just abbreviations.
There was even a part that I was seeing now BB, you see a free BB HIV. And you pay a quarter second with KLM.
Yeah, the crap folks becoming there say KSM. Yeah, it was just abbreviations.
Anyway, man, you've done great. Congratulations, congratulations. But you are a leader in the industry. How does it feel when you sit back and you hear agencies like the Food and Drugs Authority and the Gaming Commission come back and ban, the people they work with?
You mean mess with our money?
Mess with our exactly. How does it make you feel? So how does it make you feel?
Well, I was in an Uber. When the thing came up, it was on radio, and the Uber driver asked me a question. I said, "An idea on my banning, and I said, I'm gonna buy it." Like, you're talking about you don't want me to influence the kids betting, but who gave the license for the betting thing?
You did.
So really, if it's really about your morals, then don't even have them here.
Exactly. Because if they are not here at all, nobody's
gonna, and it's a dicey one there. We're not getting a fair lick on this one. This is how we survive. But then, of course, the moral question is gonna kick in, and the moral heads will come and say, blah 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 blah, and so you want them to drink, you want them to bet, but these are the same folks that have smartphones. The kids have smartphones, and they got porn on there. So I didn't come here to raise your children.
Exactly.
That's your job.
That's your job to do.
Shatawale definitely didn't come to raise your kids.
No.
That's your job. Charity begins at home.
Thank you very much.
So, I understand to a level, it's a moral question.
Yeah.
But, people got to feed and eat. And they're not selling drugs, really. So
let me bring Sadiq into this conversation now. I mean, Sadiq, we're going straight into our next discussion, and I'm happy Reggie is here to be a part of that as well. Because FDA did it, we all kept quiet. Food and Drugs Board, I said Food and Drugs Board, sorry. Gaming Commission has also done theirs. And if we're not careful, very soon ECG is going to say Reggie cannot put on lights in his house because they need to teach kids about energy conservation.
That's when I moved to Nigeria. I've been waiting for an excuse. I think just gave me one. I've been waiting for an excuse.
What's your take, Sadiq?
No, I mean, my position has always been that the fact that already our revenue licensing industry have been impacted. When you look at it, as much as we look to the states to actively get involved in the arts and to enable it, you recognize that it's privately driven. And so we rely on the businesses. The biggest commercial patrons of the arts has always been the FMCGs, and then the telcos, and then now the betting companies. And so if the FDA one has been taken out, or the beverages part has totally reduced or has come down, shrunk, now we don't have much to resort to, because even the telcos, and maybe Jesse will shine a lot more spotlight on it, have also been, it's been decreasing because apparently the corporate taxes makes it difficult for them to spend. Yes. So, and a lot of people do not, everybody thinks that this only affects only the celebrities. It's not.
No.
So, case in point is that if Guinness was used to spending, let's say, 120,000 cedis on an event or industrial activity, today, because they are not, or they are not, there are other opportunities, the exposure is non-existent, or they cannot what's it called, accept that because FDA may come on them and find them, they will only probably pay you 50,000 cedis for the experiential opportunity, and which wouldn't be enough to fund the industrial activity. So it's affecting industrial revenues heavily.
And with all of the above happening, they're gonna make like they don't even know about tramadol.
Yeah, exactly. So
everybody turn a blind eye to a pharmaceutical huge mess up.
So so
tramadol.
My point is that if the state insists that you want to regulate demerit goods in that to that extent, right? Then let's find a way to ensure that heavy revenue loss to industry comes back to industry in a particular way. So, for instance, if the states take a decision, which often is difficult to do, to say that a percentage of the statutory payments that come to all these regulators will go into, say, the Creative Arts Fund or the National Film Fund. That's another way of bringing back this money, particularly if you insist that that's the way to go. You know. But one of the things I did this week, George, was to sort of try to engage the guys at Gaming Commission.
Okay.
Just to understand.
Did you get any feedback?
Yeah,
because we also try to get them at least to speak to us on this show. But
first and foremost, this isn't a law yet. It's a guideline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a guideline. So as much as the Gaming Commission legally is mandated to take such decisions, it's a guideline.
Yeah.
Now, for them, they see the conversations going on.
Okay.
But so far, none of the people that have been impacted have taken a step to engage and have a conversation like we did yesterday. You know, so they are waiting to sort of have a conversation so they can explain their position in detail to these particular people, because they understand their constituencies in terms of the people they give information to. On this particular issue, they would rather want to engage, understand the part of industry as well, and see what can be done to, because it's not a law yet. It's a guideline.
It's a guideline, of course. So we're going to be speaking to lawyer Samson Ladia who's going to walk us through these guidelines so we'll have a better understanding. Let me bring Uncle Ken into this conversation now, because usually I know Uncle Ken's take when it comes to such matters. Maybe I could be wrong this time round. That's why I said I could be wrong this time round.
No, you are absolutely spot on. You are spot on.
Go on, mate.
With my take on this. And you know I am for the Gaming Commission. That's what you want to say. I am for them, but I have a few issues.
Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
But first of all, Sadiq just mentioned something which is critical in these discussions. Sadiq said, this is a guideline and not law. That was Sadiq.
Yeah.
Now, again, when these issues come up, I take time to educate myself. On what these things are. So I went looking for the definition of a guideline. And what I was...
Welcome to school.
Yeah.
I swear.
I always do that. Because I do not want to speak in a vacuum.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right?
So, go ahead, Uncle Ken.
So I went looking for the definition of a guideline. And what I got was simply this. A guideline is a statement or plan by which to determine a course of action. A guideline aims to streamline particular processes according to a set routine or sound practice by definition. Following a guideline is never mandatory. Guidelines are not binding. Okay? Yeah. Guidelines are not binding and are not enforceable by law. Guidelines may be issued by an organization to make the actions of the employees or divisions more predictable and presumably of higher quality.
Interesting.
Okay. So, I said, because I remember the FDA issued guidelines.
They did.
And we discussed that.
Yes.
And if I remember correctly, George, somebody sent a message towards the end of our discussion telling us that why are we accepting the guidelines which are not mandatory? You know, And so I again called a very good lawyer friend of mine, and I asked him that if the FDA or the Gaming Commission issue guidelines, are those guidelines mandatory? And this is what he told me. He said, listen, if they are an authority or a commission, then they have the power to issue those things which are backed by law, because the law makes them the power to bring out such things instead of going through the normal procedure of going through parliament and things. That is why they are an authority. So if they issue guidelines, they are binding. Yes. Yes. Unless a lawyer out there can...
by laws.
Yes.
They're governed by laws, rules,
regulations. Exactly.
Bylaws.
And the issue of fines.
Yeah. So they have the right to do what they're doing. What I'm worried about with the Gaming Commission in particular is the fact that when you go to the foreign gaming commissions, let's take England. I mean, they've had the polls, they've had the National Lottery, there's so, bingo, all these games that they organize. What they do is that they do not like these gaming companies to target the youth. As for them, their point is, do not target people below the ages of 18 in any of your ads or communication. So long as you don't do that, because nobody, Reggie was saying that, so why don't they just ban the gaming thing? Yes, you can't do that because by law they are allowed to operate. Okay, so what they do is to aim at a certain age group that is not targeted. So, for instance, they say that in advertising any of the Gaming Commission's things, do not use cartoon characters. For instance,
which I find, do they know they are adult toons?
Oh, George,
there are specific characters. Like
When you imagine characters,
can you imagine?
Hold on. Hold on. It is very vague when you say
hold on.
cartoon characters.
No, I'm not saying it right.
Yes, I know.
Them. Yeah. It is me who was wrong.
Yeah, good.
Do not use cartoon characters that attract children.
Better. That's
the correction I wanted to make. Yes, that's the correction I wanted to
But when we get to Samson Ladi, I'm sure he'll throw more light on the guidelines you're talking about. He'll be on shortly. Yeah.
And then they say that professionals, celebrities, sportsmen, and all those people
you mean Reggie and
should not
be... I'm retired now.
Reggie, critical. They should not, if you want to use them, they should not be below the ages of 25.
Oh, I'm in the loop then.
I can pick up my money.
Sorry, Reggie, you're 19.
Oh, man. So my point is, Reggie could easily, if it was in the UK or be an ambassador for a gaming commission.
Right.
Because he's above that age. Yeah. And I doubt if children of 16 will be looking up to Reggie.
Yeah.
Now, this is the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
The youngsters will not know who Reggie Rockstone is and will not be looking up to Reggie.
May not.
May not. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction, George. You are very clever.
I'm a mobile.
And that is why I have a problem with our gaming commission, because they have no age limit. They just say that celebrities and sportsmen and things cannot do it without giving us an age limit. That is the problem I have with our gaming commission.
Very clearly put, Uncle Ken. Thank you very much. We're going to go to Jesse, then we'll go to the phone lines and speak to Council Samson Ladi Ayenene.
Okay.
Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I saw your rant on Facebook. No, it's not a rant.
No, it wasn't a rant.
It wasn't a rant. It wasn't a rant.
So, in honesty, George had posted something on Facebook.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go there.
Yes, but
you weren't invited.
My view today.
I didn't want to go there.
So my view today might vary from that, because I think the question is different.
Yeah, the question is totally different.
So on Facebook, he said. It literally said, how the hell do you ban us?
Exactly.
And what do we eat? But the question for today is different.
Totally.
Today you're saying that the government seems to be deliberately crippling you in the industry.
Yeah.
And to answer that question, I would say no, the government is not doing that.
No. And I don't think,
I think the
use of government.
Hold on.
Is it in
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Just say that.
Hold on. Just for clarity, for the benefit of our listeners.
Yes.
That is not we or this show or my production team saying. That is what a lot of people in the industry are saying. Yes.
Now, the reason I'm saying this is that all of us are used to the government statement of we create an enabling environment for you to thrive.
Yeah.
So a government decision will be grounded on certain key attributes. What's my decision in terms of celebrity endorsement, and what's its impact on children? Because the government is also looking at the children. So if I have the conversation in terms of celebrities alone, then I'm right. I'm with you. Leave it alone. However, the celebrities have a role to play within the country. So as a government, I'm asking myself, what's the impact of this decision on the wider country itself?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, and again, I like to always take a step back. So why do I need a Reggie Rockstone as an example? To promote, say, cigar, or to promote, say, betting. And I picked just a couple of things. One, I'm looking for positive feelings when somebody watches Reggie Rockstone. So if I need an endorsement for A to Z, and Reggie does it, then I seem to have a positive association towards that. Number two, I'm looking to grab attention immediately. Number three, I'm looking for you to purchase what Reggie is promoting. Right. Number four, I'm looking for that personality like. So if Reggie does it, it must be good and I want to be a part of it. Right. And finally, for me, you're looking for a high recall. Now, in the mind of the consumer today, he's thinking of MTN recharge card he needs to buy, A to Z program he needs to listen to. He's got a girlfriend he needs to go and listen to. He probably has an ex who is fighting him. There's a funeral to go to. So how do I ensure that I'm cutting through the clutter of your daily problems to reinforce a product in your mind? Hence, a celebrity. Right. So the celebrity as a tool is very important. It's a shortcut to say, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I must think about when I think about my girlfriend or my wife or the stress of the day is, Charlie, I pick my WhatsApp phone. I pick the WhatsApp and I check a message. The next thing is that I must see Fun Milk, or I must see A to Z, or I must see betting. Right. Now, if I use the Reggie Rockstone who's delivering 10,000 views on Instagram, it means that I'm cutting through immediately. So it's super important. But the thing is this, what's the issue at stake? Celebrities largely can't influence you as a person.
No.
I don't know how many of you here can be influenced by Reggie Rockstone. So Reggie says, this shirt is good, go and buy it. Uncle Kelly, you might not probably trigger yourself to that.
I'm influenced.
So largely, celebrities have a cohort that they influence. That cohort, unfortunately, includes a large chunk of those you might call children. Right. So again, I said on Facebook, I agree with you.
Staff.
But here, because you posture as government, I'm taking a step back.
Not me.
Now let me give you some facts. So in the UK, okay, the Gamble Aware and Ipsos Mori published an article this year.
Correct.
Now, in that article, they said that more than one in 10 11 to 16-year-olds as of today are gambling. So pause on that thought. And again, it will take me to whether gambling or betting has a health implication or not. Because the only reason, if it's a financial implication alone, the government might not care. But if it has a health implication, the government might jump. So the UK says, as an example, that, look, the Committee on Advertising Practice has launched a consultation on the new measures following fresh data. And what's the data? More children are betting today. And that's the age range, 11 to 16 are betting. Now, pause on that thought. Let's go to Australia. Australia says that it has been estimated that this year, Australian gamblers will lose as much as $611 million. That's monies you've lost because you're gambling. I'm not even going to, I don't want to talk about hormones that are triggering
that is the gamblers in Australia. That is how much money they would lose. But did they say how much they would also gain? Because you win some, you lose some.
Because the decision to advance is not based on the gain per se. The suicide is not committed based on the gain. The suicide is committed based on the loss. Right. So the analysis is always based on that. In Kenya, at some point in time, they were so upset that they shut down the betting industry. And they said everybody must come to relicense. Because there was a problem happening in the country. Which was more children were betting. And it's uncontrolled. Again, in Ghana, as an example, if you take a look at all the betting centers across the country, there are kids Reggie Rockstone will be upset to see there. Some are wearing school uniforms and standing there to bet.
Or watching TV.
They're standing. They're standing there. See, the thing with the betting is that you must not be seen within a particular area.
I agree with you.
So there are some hard rules you must have on the ground. Now, my challenge and my thinking is this, George, that celebrity endorsement is very important. So you might have the likes of Colin, who did endorsement for Nike. You saw their sales revenues grew by 31%, which is great. And we're talking about monies in the billions. Now, the problem with betting is whether betting is just a financial conversation or it's a health implication. So they might say that the body has something called a dopamine, right?
Dopamine. Yeah, it makes you happy. Yeah.
Now, it makes you happy. Yeah. Now, what is that? I go to the club every Friday. I see a beautiful girl there, and I get, in quotes, lucky. Forgive me. So next week, Friday, I want to go. So on Thursday, I can't wait for Friday. So every Friday, I get lucky. Now I say, maybe I can get lucky on Thursday. So Thursday, I want to go again. I want to go to Django again. And I want to go again and again and again. Now suddenly, I have a behavioral pattern that I can't change. Pick that same thing, slap alcohol on that.
Right.
Pick that same thing and slap the betting on that. So in many countries today, betting is being discussed from a health implications perspective. So the question is that if it becomes a health implication perspective, if it goes there, how do you regulate that and change that? Especially when even the adults who have a compulsive disorder in betting can't control themselves, how much more the children?
Hence the word. There are a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions about your subject. But you finish.
I've just been schooled.
I don't agree. Let's go. You go on. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when a Shatawale, as an example, says I am again, let me go to Uncle Ken.
Yeah.
And this is one of the problems that I have with the directive.
Yeah.
When I worked in Guinness, it wasn't possible to take a Guinness fridge, a mortar Guinness fridge into a school.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for Guinness, the name Guinness is there.
Guinness is there.
And Guinness doesn't believe in exposing.
Yeah, that's a Diageo code. So you will not. Yeah.
The Diageo way of brand building bastard.
Yeah.
But guess what? Gaming Commission says that do not advertise to children. But what they don't realize is that I can take my child to the bet. Let me explain.
Thank you.
You say that the footballer cannot wear the bet jersey and advertise to my child. Yet on Sunday, Reggie Rockstone will pick his wife and go to Dansoman Liberty Park and watch a game, and the betting company is there. So exactly. So if I get to the stadium, as an example, and there's a betting company there, does the stadium have a responsibility to deny the child access because you'll be exposed to the betting? Question unanswered. Number two, we always choose the shotgun approach, right? So we always say that it's been banned. It's been banned. It's cool. It's great. Yet today, our exposure to things being banned are probably missing the mark, and we're firing blanks because the kids are online. So the rules we have in Ghana today says that don't put a billboard close to a school because the children are there.
Yeah.
Don't advertise during a particular time frame because the children are listening to radio and watching TV. However, my son
smartphone.
He's 7 years old. He's calling me on FaceTime now. Look,
I'm just looking at it.
So at the end of the day, there are lots of things that we need to go through. But the question is this: how does a celebrity take advantage of this because they're losing money? My cocky approach is this.
No. Hold on to that one. The celebrities are now tuning in, so hold on. Let us go to the phone lines and speak to counsel, lawyer Samson Ladi Ayinene, and then we'll find out his thoughts. At least Uncle Ken schooled us on what guidelines are. Yeah. Let's find out if legally that's actually what it means in this context. Counsel. Hello.
Hey.
Counsel, good afternoon. How are you doing? Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
We're blessed, though. God is good. I mean, please, have you been following our conversation?
Yes, I have.
That's good. I'm glad you have. First, let us find out quickly, what is your legal interpretation on the directive of the Gaming Commission? I mean, they've spoken to their, members, if I should put it that way, or those that they oversee, that they cannot use celebrities to sell their products. What is your legal interpretation of that?
Right. So when you started with the opening by Sadiq, I got scared, and then Uncle Ken came, and it got a lot more disturbing, up to the point where he said he had spoken to a lawyer. Now, the Gaming Commission is set up by a law. So when you are a creator of law, you act in accordance with what the law says you can do. What the law says you cannot do, you cannot do it. But the Gaming Act 2006 provides power for the commission to bring out signs. And that is in Section 3, 1. What that means, therefore, is that if they issue regulations, the regulations have the effect of law. And if you disobey or violate those regulations, you'll be subject to the punishment that is provided in the law. In the Gaming Act itself, offenses relating to gaming activities could fetch you about 500 penalty units. A penalty is 12 Ghana. So you can do that calculation for yourself. Or, in addition to the 500 penalty units left against you, if you are found guilty by
Counsel, hold on. There's some level of interruption in your line. Yeah, I don't know if maybe you could change maybe where you're standing. If you are indoor, maybe if you could step outdoor for a bit, because we are getting some so because what you're telling us is pretty important and it's very pertinent to our discussion. So if you could just change where you're standing, change your position, so that we can have a clearer line. Let's try again, Counsel.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
A little better now.
We will. It's so. You go ahead and let's see if we can manage what we have. Yeah.
Okay. So the point I was making was that the commission being a regulator, generally, by law, if the law sets up a regulator, the law empowers the regulator to issue guidelines, because regulation is not static. There are developments that happen that the law may not have anticipated. Therefore, the power to issue regulation is the opportunity to catch up and not be behind the time.
Okay.
And if the regulations are issued pursuant the authority vested in that regulator by a particular law, that regulation has the effect of law, and disobedience or violation of that regulation will attract the sanctions the law provides. And I'm saying in this regard, for example, in the Gaming Act, offenses regarding, gaming activities, the law simply says generally that if found guilty, you are subject to a liable to 500 units, which is it's a penalty. So I say you calculate for yourself, and then you could, in addition to the 500 units, suffer 2 years imprisonment.
Wow.
So you get or you get both. That's how the law operates. Now, when I look at this law, so it's a regulation, but as a lawyer, I'm free to call it law. Now, when I look at this law, it would appear that when we put the law against our constitutional provisions, and remember again that any law that is made, which is not the Constitution, and which is seen to violate the Constitution or a provision of the Constitution, means it doesn't pass muster. Once you take a step to the court and the court agrees with you, then they'll strike down that law as being in violation of the Constitution. So the question to ask is, what they have done, if you scrutinize it under the Constitution, will it pass muster? That is where I think eventually we may come to the conclusion, and a very reasonable conclusion, that the law will not pass muster, and a court may be most likely to strike it down. If you take the law against rights, as in fundamental rights, we have, and the celebrities that is targeted at have the right to speech and right to expression, just like each one of us in the Constitution in chapter 5. which is a fundamental human right. So you are seeking to restrict the right. You are seeking to restrain the right. That's okay. Because
Council, your line is breaking again. This is what we're going to do. We'll come back to the studio for our conversation and try to see if we can raise you on a better line. All right. So please, let's try, Philip. Let's try to see if we can raise him on a better line, because what he's saying is pretty important. Just so you heard the floor, and then you were saying where celebrities could leverage on this opportunity or something like that.
No. Okay. So just to recap a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a we exist in a broader economy. We exist in a broader social construct. Within that social construct, there are kids who represent the greater chunk of all of us. And therefore, when businesses take decisions, the decisions must be grounded on securing the well-being of the children.
Of those children, yeah.
And therefore, if the state, through its own medium, can establish that there is a growing concern, then that concern must be addressed. Now, before I get to the solution, I feel that we need to get much more granular with how we present data.
Okay.
And therefore, I would have been happier if the Gaming Commission had said
shared.
That they work with the Statistical Services of Ghana. You see, and to be fair, if I walk to, and again I'm using Reggie.
Yeah.
If I walk to Reggie and I say, oh, the songs you're doing is uplifting the kids in Polygon, and they're doing great, he'll do more.
Yeah.
If I go to him and I say, oh, the song you did about weed or cocaine, the people in this place are doing it and it's impacting them, he might say, let me reflect a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it could change. And therefore, I feel that instead of a motherhood statement, which doesn't seem to be grounded on any empirical evidence, and therefore then it becomes a moralist conversation of I feel I'm a Muslim and don't do that, or I feel I'm a Christian and therefore don't do that. But I'm sure that if it was grounded on some very sound numbers to say these are the trends we are seeing, the industry, which is the art industry itself, might be concerned.
Exactly.
That's number one. So that takes me to the key point of the Diageo way of brand building, which technically says that at the end of every... Should I
hold on. No, hold on. I understand we have a clearer line. So we want to finish with Council, then we can stay in the studio. Hello, Council.
Yeah, George.
Great. We have a better line now. So, yes, let's wrap it up with you, then we'll come back to the studio. Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
So I was referring to rights that are conferred on citizens by way of what is known in international circles as your best right, which is what you find in the Bill of Rights in Chapter 5 of the Constitution. So you have the celebrities who are affected have equal rights like us, every one of us, to speak and to express. Beyond that, they also have what is the economic right. And the law says that our government are supposed to provide the environment for people to be able to develop their creativity and economic activity.
Council, hold on. First, I think there's a radio set by you. If you can go down a bit, and let me just ask one question.
My radio is off.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then there was some feedback. Let me just ask one question based on what you just told us right now. So, can Reggie Rockstone, for instance, get up and say he's taking the Gaming Commission to court to seek interpretation on this order?
Right. This is a very important issue. And so we must have time to be able to go through the law in a very clear way. Otherwise, there will be lack of understanding, or the understanding will be in-house. That will not be good.
Okay.
But anybody at any time, for as long as we feel that they are either their economic rights or their freedom of speech and expressing is being impeded in a manner that the law frowns on, can of course get up and in the court. The point I was going to make in addition was that the same Constitution provides that the rights that we have, that we are supposed to enjoy, are subject to other people's rights and overriding public interest. So there is a competition between our private rights and public interest. And it is the state that has the power to regulate that segment to ensure that the public interest, the overriding public interest, is upheld. Now, if you look at it that direction, then you will find that the purpose of the law, which is so that these influencers, and they are big influencers, so that these influencers do not necessarily influence particularly children, and the law also refers to vulnerable people, minors, and vulnerable people. Now, I'll make this point, then you can proceed to let us look at other questions that you have. And the point is this, that even our Supreme Court has said that you have freedom from unlawful discrimination. But that does not mean that the state does not have power to discriminate. So positive or lawful discrimination is allowed. Now you have your economic rights, you have your freedom of speech and expression. Yet it can be, if you like, regulated on the basis of the law that your rights are subject to others' rights and the overriding public interest. And then again, the law says we should not discriminate. But while we should not discriminate, we can discriminate positively. And that positive discrimination will be lawful discrimination. But guess what? The law says if you have to do so, you must show two things. Otherwise, the thing you are used to do that discrimination will be struck down. You must show that the limitation that you are bringing on the person's right to exercise is necessary and it is in the for the public good. Apart from that, you must show that the limitation is proportional. So if you are not able to show this, you'll be in trouble. How are you able to show it when you take this law? That it may not be proportional and it may be one that is unnecessary limitation and it does not enhance the democracy or the freedom of all. How to show that is that in this same law, the guidelines say advertisements must be vetted and approved by the commission. Vetted and approved. This shows that the commission has a better way or an option of ensuring that the celebrity could engage in the activity in a manner that does not bring the heads that they are concerned about. The same guideline says the advertisement that will be done will have to acknowledge the Gaming Commission as the regulator. The advertisement must not contain inaccurate information. It must not contain misleading information. If it fails to acknowledge Gaming Commission and or changes are made without recourse to the Commission, there will be trouble. If it negatively affects public interest and sensibilities, it will not be approved. If it does not depict responsible gaming and appeals to minors, it will not be approved. So this means the Commission has the power to vet, and through the vet, to decide that one particular investment is not void of inappropriate content and therefore will not be. Guess what? The Commission actually has the power also to revoke the advertising license of an operator if they breach these rules. On the basis of that, I humbly submit that it would appear that because there are alternatives by which the same commission that is seeking to regulate this in this manner is capable of regulating what goes on, it may be found to be unconstitutional and therefore an unnecessary ban, and one that unlawfully interferes with the right of these celebrities, the right of speech and of expression, and their economic rights, and the discrimination that it brings is a discrimination that may not be able to defend. So, on my reading of the Constitution, my reading of specific by the Supreme Court, I am giving to think or express opinion that this ban just might be unconstitutional. But until and unless it has been certified by courts, if you breach it, you'll be punished.
Counsel, thank you very much. You couldn't have put it any better. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. If we need any further clarity, we'll call you again. Uncle Ken, yes, you were saying. I mean, you heard him. He said until otherwise.
Yes,
it is unconstitutional. He thinks it is unconstitutional, and it is unlawfully infringing upon the rights of people like Reggie Rockstone. Jesse, you had the floor. Please continue.
But you called me.
But Jesse had the floor. No, I only made reference. Jesse did not finish before we crossed over. But Jesse did not finish.
I want to make a point about something Jesse said.
No, but Jesse has not finished.
I want clarity from Jesse.
Yes, let's clarify. Let him finish. No,
let me ask Jesse made the point about data.
Yes.
From the commission in coming up with their regulations and what have you. If you look at the Western world, before they come up with anything, they give you data as to what they have found out. So, for instance, you read certain bits about 16-year-olds and all these people being seen at gaming commissions, centers, and blah, blah, blah. They would give you data as to the percentage of kids who are. That is why they want to curb this.
Agreed.
If you do that, then the public...
You carry people with you.
You carry... exactly, like you yourself said. You carry people with you. And that is what is missing with our folks. You know,
I think what they did,
no, hold on, please. Gentlemen, let's manage the time well. Jesse, finish your point, then we'll go back. Because there's one more very important issue we ought to discuss before we go.
I'll end this way. There are ways we can use the celebrities. And again, to professionally, I disagree with the ending of Samson's statement.
That's your opinion too.
My belief is that there's a way the industry can use the celebrities. Which is this, that like Diageo always says, drink responsibly. Only something 18 years.
18 years and above.
So if I have a Reggie Rockstone, I have a Shatawale, the menace of betting or the product of betting, so long as the state has allowed it, it would be pervasive from now going forward, and it will only get worse. So once the industry is growing, the menace that might come out of it would also grow. So don't fight it by shutting the celebrities away. Pick them and use them to drive a responsible betting behavior.
Good.
So in that instance, right, and again, the Gaming Commission has the right to call all the betting companies into a room to say that we are creating a responsible betting fund, as an example. Each person should contribute, say, 0.1% of the gains you have. It goes into a kitty. The kitty raises, say, 5 million Ghana cedis. We have 10 celebrities sitting down there who can then drive the agenda for across the country.
Not to catch you.
Yes.
Spot on. This is something that they are doing.
Okay.
But you see,
gentlemen, hold on. We have to manage the time well. Hold on. Your microphones are off. Your microphones are off. Hold on. We need to manage. We need to manage the time well. Let's manage the time well. Let me ask Reggie a question based on something Samson said. Reggie, Samson is a lawyer of very good repute.
He sounds like a good one too.
Yes, and he did say clearly that based on his interpretation and looking at everything, he thinks this ban is unconstitutional and maybe trampling upon your rights. If he were available to be hired, would you want to hire him and take this up legally?
That's a good look. Definitely a good look. But I like what he said.
Jesse, okay.
Yeah. You know, to kill a snake bite, you use the antidote for snake.
It's for snake.
It's from the snake.
Exactly.
You know, and I like what he said. There has to be a way around it.
So you would rather not fight them. You'd rather want to dialogue to find an easier
Because
solution.
everybody,
And
there are some valid points. You know, when he broke it down as far, you know, the youth and I mean, come on, man. I'm trying to pick up a check, but I have some morals.
And you see,
know what
based
I mean?
on
so there has to be a way around this.
we all watched The Lotto Doctor with
Yeah.
David Hunter.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
finest adverts
Yes.
every Ghanaian
Yes.
watched. I mean, we all watched it.
Oye Penny.
Did it make you go stake Lotto, Jesse?
Yes.
Did that advert make you
Yes.
go and stake? That advert cost you to go and
Don't
stake Lotto?
forget, David Donta was an icon at that time.
Wait, I mean, we're speaking on. It didn't make me.
No, it's not. You see,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
finish
yeah,
the question. But let me finish the question.
What is
Yes.
Okay.
Did it make you? You
From
said
a
it
marketing
made you.
perspective. Okay, hold on.
Yes.
From
Go
a
ahead.
marketing perspective,
Yes.
right? There's awareness and then there's conversion.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are aware that there are enzymes in Ghana? Almost everybody's aware.
Yes.
How many people are married to enzymes? It probably could be a small fraction of it.
Exactly.
How many of us are aware of that Regiroxon sells while watching? A lot of people.
A lot of people.
How many people
tasted
actually
it before?
buy it? Maybe less than that. So
Yeah.
the fact that it didn't happen to you doesn't mean that it didn't reach out to you. So you knew about Lotto at the age of 6, no?
Hold on. The point I'm trying to make here,
Yes.
and it goes back to a lot of the statistics that you gave.
Yes.
Look, there are dynamics that have changed today that makes parenting even more difficult, and we ought to push it more to parents than to those that are advertising it. Why do I say so? You just said that your kid, who is 7,
Yes.
has a mobile phone,
As an iPad, yes.
has an iPad.
Yes.
Exactly. That iPad is online, isn't it?
Yes.
Things could pop up on that iPad and all those things and all
Yes.
those things. So betting companies, he could be watching a cartoon, a betting company
there's a
advert
PG part
might-
where you
you do all those. But not every parent is as aware as you to be able to do
Yes.
all that. So those kids may be exposed.
Yes.
When the UK did their research and realized that kids from age 11 to 16 are gambling a lot more, did they also realize that when they were that age, mobile phones weren't as common or as easy as and betting companies, and betting companies were not in your face, in
George,
your bedroom, in your
but
toilet,
during
everywhere
that
as they are today.
Okay, George, you're being emotional about it.
I'm
I
not.
understand.
I'm being factual.
Hold on.
Emotional
George,
ranting.
there were problems at that time. Maybe the problem they faced at that time was nudity and pornography.
Right.
And
Today, it's still a problem today.
Today, pornography is a balance. I don't know how to say it. I am normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be a problem. So today's problem
And
is
even
maybe
the porn
betting.
sites and all the companies are also
50
taking
years from now, betting will be normalized. There'll be a new disease that comes
It's already
up.
normal.
So let's not compare it. I'm just saying that-
Relative
Yeah.
to the time.
It really doesn't matter.
But there's an destructive point.
Sadiq,
from
one
this
sec.
journal engagement.
Sadiq, one
The
sec.
betting
I'm going
companies
to the
are
phone
not
line.
complaining.
I'm going to the phone line quickly to speak to Eddie Osain-Tim. Eddie Osain-Tim is the head of marketing at Betika Ghana, one of these betting agencies. Let's hear what he has to say on this. Hello, Eddie.
Hi, George.
How are you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're very well. So we're looking at this ban from the Gaming Commission that you guys can use people like Reggie Rockstone and stuff to sell your products. I don't know if you've received a letter to that effect.
Yes, we have. We have actually held a stakeholders meeting concerning that.
Were you consulted before the letter was issued or anything of the sort?
No, we were not consulted, but speaking to them, they just made us aware that this is something that is supposed to help, and then it's a directive actually.
It is a directive, I understand, but you know, directives aren't just issued. At least it must have come with an explanation that based on, Jesse rightly said it in our studios, that I'm sure if he were doing it, he would have given based on statistics and research that we've done. It shows A, B, C, and D. What reasons were given, and is it something that you buy and agree with?
To say to that, agreeing, it's not a thing. I don't agree to that. I just wish they didn't put it in a blanket statement that celebrities, because when I am using a sports journalist like Gary Alsmith or George Ado, I don't know how that affects the reasons they are giving us, because their followers on Twitter and Facebook are more than 18 years. So how does that affect, or how do they determine what they say? Celebrities are followed by kids or the minors, those we call the minors. But then considering those we are using, I was using George Ado and I intend to use him at Betika. I don't know if he is a celebrity or he qualifies to be a celebrity there. But using him on Twitter, using him on Facebook. Yeah, if you're not 18, you cannot be on Facebook or you cannot be on Twitter. So I don't know how that affects the band or how affects minors. So the directive is not actually clear there on the celebrity part.
You said you had some stakeholder engagement on that. What was the outcome of those engagements, and what was it really meant to achieve, really?
It was actually supposed to tell us what the directives are. So they shared it among us, and then they just told us this is the directive, and this is what it intends to seek.
All right. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much for talking to us, Eddie. If we need any further clarity, we'll call you. Eddie does say something that has taken me to a message Halifax sent. Halifax said, how do we define a celebrity in this context? Any unknown person you use for TV commercials? Hold on. Let me read the full message. It says, any unknown person you use for TV commercials and put that person in our faces for a while becomes famous and attains celebrity status. Example, Michael Power. We may take an unknown Ghanaian and name him Kwekubet, use him for betting commercials for a while, and he becomes a celeb. Do we ban such a person too?
When he becomes a celeb, we drop him.
On Facebook, I'd ask you the same question.
Yeah, you did. It was one of the yes, exactly.
What's the trigger for it?
Exactly.
Again,
exactly.
So it was open up. It was open up to.
Jesse, I understand I have to open the phone line so we can pick about 2 phone calls, but you can go ahead. 0302216541. I can let Jesse finish and I'll come to you. Yes, please go ahead.
My issue with everything here, is the fact that what's in the consideration set for those who bet.
Good question.
If you ask the young person today why you bet, he probably might say the odds are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, we need to take a step back and ask ourselves the trigger for the reason why the person bets. What is it? And if we really believe, stricto sensu, that the betting companies themselves are contributing to a social menace, and we can forecast that they are becoming a major problem, then maybe let's take the Reggie approach.
Shut them down. But we can't.
No, I get that. Because
we can't.
They
won't.
For the state side, the revenues they are bringing to
what are you talking about? They can say.
Thank you very much. They are making their money.
They can't.
They will. The revenue to the state. How can you allow?
So the state should make money, but Reggie shouldn't.
Yeah. So I'm decent, but you can't.
Yeah. Let's go to the phone line. Who do we have here? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
David, and I'm calling from Peshalakma.
David, talk to us.
Good evening to your panelists.
Good evening to hear you. Go ahead.
I'm really. I've been in the game industry for almost about 12 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a bit. I deal with live games.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That is casino. Yeah. So I think with the gaming commission asking the celebrities not to get involved with the advertiser, I think it's wrong. They have a way of doing it. They can do it in a positive way. You understand? Like your panelist said, if you are under the age, a certain age, you're not to get involved with those things. So I think they are getting the whole thing wrong.
Okay.
In the first place, if they're asking them not to get involved, that's where some of them make some of their money. So in the first, when they take it out, what did they put in? So they have to get a way of doing it in a positive way. Because those celebrities over there, our musicians, let me say Reggie, Sakawale, Stoneboy, and others, those kids listen to them. And anything that comes from them, the kids take it. So those celebrities, same celebrities, can put the advert in such a way that they might say, no, listen, I'm at this age, I'm not to get involved in it.
All right, I think you've made it clear. Thank you very much. Let's see the last person. We can pick one more. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead and tell us, share your thoughts with us.
Yes, I am so disappointed in the gentleman who said there is no empirical evidence. My brother, before laws are made, our parliament invites stakeholders, and these stakeholders come with researches and empirical evidence that would inform how they form the laws.
Okay, hold on, please. Before you go ahead, in this particular context, maybe if you let us know who you are, where you were, and if you have come across any empirical evidence, it might help our conversation.
KQ.
Yes, sir.
I don't work in Parliament, and I don't need to tell you that. But I think Uncle Ken made it clear That, do you think they just go to Parliament and without anything to base on, they just formulate laws?
But
then
sir,
what kind of country do we live in?
But sir, in all honesty and or with all due respect, do you also think it would be so terrible for the public to ask that based on what did you arrive at this conclusion? Do you have any evidence? Did you do any research? Is it so wrong for a member of the general public to ask for that?
GQ,
if there
GQ,
is, what is wrong with sharing
I am happy that there is the Creative Arts Council. Let the Actors Guild, let Musica, and all those who are affected petition Parliament so that they would tell them something. They shouldn't just be making statements and be going on social media and be making, I don't want to say noise, but let them use the right channels to ask the right questions and get the right answers.
Okay.
Nice day.
I was hoping you'd give us the empirical evidence bit that you have.
I am not the one to give you that. I am telling you where they can get it, so you to get them to go to the right
and
avenue.
Get it. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, pretty interesting. All right, gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up on this one.
But I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
You didn't allow me.
Please
Let
go
me
ahead.
ask.
Please go ahead.
A lot of people have said, use the celebrities to propagate the wrongs of the gaming business, or the alcoholic
reverse
business.
the influence.
Reverse the influence. And I keep asking myself, how is this going to be done? For instance, I ask myself, can Reggie pick up a product, advertise the product, and then at the end of his advertising the product, he says, but by the way, if you are below 18, don't touch this product.
My name is Uncle Ken. Hold on. My name is Uncle Ken.
Yeah.
Over the past 10 years, I have wasted about 1 million Ghana cedis of my resources in betting. I have lost. Remember, I've lost this, I've lost that, and I've lost this. Once you go off, then Reggie Rockstone comes in. Hi, my name is Reggie Rockstone. I know you want to bet, but when you're betting, bet responsibly. This message is blah blah blah.
Exactly.
ABC.
Then I'll also come in and say, hi, my name is George Quaye. If you bet, you win.
Which is cool.
Wait.
Yes.
But my issue is, are the companies going to be happy with that?
Yes. So Uncle Ken, there's an example with Henry Formula One.
Globally, yes.
There's an example of.
You're going far. Hold on. You're going far. Sadiq, hold on. Uncle Ken is going far. Once upon a time, when cigarettes became a problem, they made the cigarette companies write it themselves.
Yes,
the
it is written.
Smoking can kill you. Nobody complains.
But no celebrity advertising.
No, you're not getting my point.
Nobody advertising. That is written.
No, Uncle Ken, it was in answering your
question. Uncle Ken, Chenyo. We are saying that the celebrities have lost money. So the only reason why we are saying bring them back into the fold
is for good.
It's for a good measure.
To make money.
Yes, to make money off the problem. Because see, you are saying the economy is not good for them. And you have a problem. So use them to fix the problem. And let them be campaigners against the possible problem. They're just saying bet responsibly. And don't
Jesse.
Yes.
To do that, it may not come from the angle of the companies. If the for good fund element that we are asking for, that if we insist that this is the way to go, if that fund is in place, for instance, which is supposed to deal with the problems that betting or some of these demerit goods come with, then this fund can use the celebrities to amplify some of these messages. Look, Heineken and Formula One did the same thing, where they partnered to run a campaign against, drunk driving. For instance, because Heineken could do that.
Who do they use?
They use Formula One and the Formula One drivers.
Uncle Ken and Sadiq, you've made your point. I think it's clear. Jesse has a solution, but we'll come back to it shortly.
It's just a one-liner.
Okay, go ahead.
Right now, anybody can open a TV channel.
Sharp. On your phone.
So Gary L. Smith runs a program online. He doesn't have to be an ambassador per se. But he's hosting his program. It's brought to you by the betting company. Shatawale can do a Shatter Wednesday live. Where he's doing his program. And then it's sponsored by the betting company. So long as he hasn't said I'm an ambassador and I'm doing ABC, that's where the problem is.
And the target audience is not below.
And then I will take the problem back to the betting company. for them back to the gaming commission to fix. But so long as Reggie will stand in his bar and say, "Hi, my name is Reggie. If you want to work very hard, work the way my dread grew was slow, it was progressive, and then it worked. By the end of the day, you would make it." Behind him, it's a big Guinness poster and a bed poster.
Gentlemen, we are moving on from this topic. But in concluding, and this question is for Reggie. So Reggie, what would have happened, or if you were a worker with the Gaming Commission? Let us assume you woke up this morning, a big game happening right now, Man United versus Chelsea. Then Shatawale picked this Instagram and said, "Guys, Charlie, today big game, Man U versus Chelsea. Me, I go bet because I don't say the betting day. I take by my recent BMW. So you two, for look sharp, yeah." Wale says so. He hasn't mentioned any betting company. What would the Gaming Commission have done?
Product placement.
Hold on, there's no product placement. They'll go after them. Gaming Commission can now go after them. Just say betting.
Said all of this
assuming he said that. What would the Gaming Commission have done?
Don't do anything. Don't do anything.
Because, and that is what comes to this conversation, that they could, like you rightly said,
and he can,
and you can, and anybody can.
Yeah. So
that is the point I'm making.
On his own, without any other company, Facebook Live, without advertising any other company.
And that is where I end this comment, because I think the Gaming Commission did not think through this properly, because they could be the biggest losers. Because the celebrities could all do this today, and what did you achieve? Really, think about it. If Reggie woke up this morning, did that, Shatta did that, Stoneboy did that, Sarkodie did that, what did you achieve?
But in consideration of what?
They always
yes, and then they would.
In consideration of what? What
of what thing?
You know how
this is what he always
just talking about betting.
Yeah, but I mean,
he has to end with his viewpoint.
Earlier, yesterday, we saw MTN put up MTN put out a statement, and that statement was in relation to something Salma Mumin did. Salma Mumin had earlier in the day put up a post regarding MTN mobile money, MTN Momo, and I'm trying to read the exact thing that she put out so that it gives us the proper perspective to this conversation. This is exactly what Salma put out. Okay, Salma said, MTN keeps saying nobody can withdraw your money in your Momo account without your consent. But I just found out my over 10,000 cedis from my business Momo account has been taken. MTN is not safe anymore. And we know who Salma Mumin is. And this was on her IG, with a huge following as well. And the post, as at the time that I saw it, had been liked by almost 1,000 people. Had liked that post, liking it shows a level of consent in a way or the other. It doesn't matter how they felt about it. They did like it. 1,000 people. What it simply means is that at least 1,000 people had been reached by that message. That is what it meant. And in her cover message, usually there's a cover message that goes with an image. The cover message, her first line actually said that, MTN, I believe it's your workers. It must be looked into. And then MTN looked into it, and then MTN came with a reply, and this was MTN's reply. We refer to an Instagram post published on 22nd day of October 2020 by Salma Mumin. The post read what I just read. The post further sought to allege that MTN staff have stolen the poster's money, that is Salma's money. Now, we wish to state categorically and for the records that the claims made in the post are false and misleading to the public and the poster's Instagram followers. As Salma Mumin is very much aware, the said amount was not in her Momo merchant wallet and no money had been taken from her Momo merchant wallet as claimed. She has been engaged on this, leading to the apparent deletion of the said post. By this rejoinder, we demand that Salma Mumin immediately apologizes to MTN Ghana within 24 hours of this publication. The apology must state clearly that her claims that MTN Ghana had taken money from her wallet was false and given some prominence as that of her, of her initial post, failing which the business will be compelled to take legal action against her. Please be advised accordingly. And then Salma came back to apologize. She said, as a result of a misapprehension I mistakenly and unfortunately made a post to the effect that MTN blah blah blah, that same thing. It was clearly mistaken. I hereby retract the said post and apologize unreservedly to MTN Ghana for any inconvenience caused it by my earlier post. I also express my sincere gratitude to MTN Ghana for its effective and prompt support in resolving the difficulty I was facing with my transaction.
Wow, the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
Because when I seen it, I was like, damn, that soccer wild boys, if you hadn't done that, yeah, everybody was shook. Like, because it's crossed your mind before. Because they got ways. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, Lord, finally they got through. But thank God.
Anyway.
So it all ended well.
Mm. George.
Yes, Uncle Ken.
You see, every time some of these issues come up, I always take my time to listen to the pros and cons of the matter before I decide.
Yeah.
It is very easy for you to just see this and MTN's rejoinder and just go straight and say, bam, the girl was wrong, or that kind of thing. Because you know what? I just realized that the girl was wrong in that she did not take her time to suss out what a problem was before she accused, before the accusation. Yes. And I'm saying this because in MTN's own rejoinder, they tell us that she has been engaged on this matter, leading to the apparent deletion of the said post. In the girl's apology, she also states that she has had discussions with MTN and they've helped her resolve her problem. So it means that there was there was an issue that she did not take her time to find out why it occurred and just jumped to the conclusion that she had been shortchanged.
Uncle Ken, if I may quickly ask you,
what MTN was dealing with, where her comment about the fact that she felt she has been shortchanged.
Yes.
Not that she didn't have any right that.
Exactly. That's why I said she was wrong.
Sorry, hold on. We don't have a lot of time. But let's not try to find reasons where they are. Let's deal with what's been stated.
Yes.
The girl claimed that over 10,000 had been stolen.
Yes.
MTN made it clear there was no 10,000.
Yes.
That is wrong.
Yes.
Why can't we just say that?
No, George.
We're trying to polish it. The girl was wrong.
No. George, listen. The MTN said there was no 10,000 in that particular account, Momo account,
the one
she was talking about. Yes. You see, that is why I'm saying let's be. I mean, the girl jumped.
Uncle Ken,
hold on. You see,
she misfired.
Yes, I agree.
Jesse, please.
After it was pointed out to her, she realized that she had made a mistake.
Yes.
So
she apologized.
Did she misfire?
So all I'm saying is they should not jump to conclusions and misrepresent.
I doubt very much that she would make something like that up. Something happened.
So you believe there was 10,000?
She might have thought that something happened.
So why
I don't think.
Let's say.
What does she have to gain?
From a brand perspective,
something happened.
I'm super excited about.
I don't think she woke up and made that up.
We would want to believe so. We would want to believe so too. Jesse, your thoughts?
I don't have views on this.
It's actually
Sadiq and Uncle Ken. Yeah.
Something happened.
My thinking is this: that look, I like MTN's way of dealing with the issue.
Yeah.
They didn't behave like a brand that is in some corner. They were very frontal.
They faced it.
Great. Number two, the dialogue makes it look as if maybe there was a misrepresentation of the actual actual thing. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying that it seems weird. Yeah. And next for me is this: if you have requested for a ceiling to be lifted to be able to transfer 10,000 cedis from your account, and you feel unsafe, there's nothing wrong with reducing the limits that can be transferred from your account. So just to be safe, I can move 1,000 cedis from my account. That's all I want. So even if you get access to my PIN, we'll be 2 times the year, and maybe I'm first on block.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of money, but let's simmer down a little bit.
MTN was specific that there was
money. And you see, if we do that, we'll be making it look like we're trying to polish it because she's one of us. Look, I love her.
No.
She's one of us, and we must.
This brings to mind a bigger issue about the role celebrities or popular people take in spreading fake news.
Yeah.
For instance, which is becoming a
She's an
problem.
actress,
Which is becoming a problem that we
Yeah.
Fine too.
look at.
Exactly.
Because obviously the fact that you have a certain level of power and have a certain level of platform does not mean that you can just run around and then push out information.
What's the name of the artist who spoke earlier?
And we didn't even have time to go into the SARS.
No, we didn't. We didn't. Unfortunately.
Celebrities
next week. We'll look at that next week. Mr. President, thank you very much for coming. We can get Wache every day, right?
I had a ball here.
We can get
school.
When are we coming to eat Wache?
Now we have the Thank God for Wache is back every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And then, of course, from Monday to
Saturday.
Yeah, and then yes, the chicken that's
chicken.
up too. Yep. And we're back upstairs. We resumed yesterday.
Perfect.
It was beautiful.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. In honor of our 25th anniversary, Joy Goes Local. And as we go local, we are embarking on a door tapped at the Western Escape from 6th to 7th of November 2020. In fact, the whole of 25th anniversary party is happening at the Maha Beach Resort 3